Hello and welcome to episode 32 of AARGH Optics, a podcast where grown adults discuss, overanalyse and generally take a toy and media franchise originally intended for kids and now aimed almost exclusively at nostalgic adults that really should know better a little too seriously. Usually that of the Transformers. I am your recovering toy addict host Orion Ghia, aka Sleeves, and with me, in real life, is my young, hopelessly addicted and one step away from an intervention co-host, Virtual Dave. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Brighton.
We're back.
So, once again, we're here in Brighton, in December, in person, for the third annual AARGH Optics, Top of the Bots. It's that time of year again, isn't it, Dave?
It is. We're feeling the festive spirit.
Absolutely, yeah. It's, as we're speaking, it's, the 9th of December, so yeah, trees up. So yes, let's have some Christmas cheer, as it were. Now, we're going to do things a bit differently this year. Rather than like an exhaustive top 10, we're going to run down our top 5 releases of 2023, but also our top toy purchases in 2023, irrespective of the year that they were released in. The reason for that being that I've barely bought 10 new toys this year, whereas you've probably bought about 10,000 new toys this year.
999, maybe,
Hopefully we'll bring this one in under 3 hours. I hope so. We have plans for this afternoon, so it would be nice to get this done. So, it's Christmas, so as tradition dictates, we should exchange a little gift. Yeah, I've got something for you. Got this for you the other day. Look, it's expertly wrapped.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Need to get yours.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll let you open yours first. So Dave and I went to the pub last night with the little Transformers collectors group in Brighton. And this was purchased from somebody who's in that group, although he wasn't at the pub last night.
Not sure if rapid skills, so it's impossible to open. It's a vehicle of some description.
Yep.
I see hands. I see stickers. Who is it?
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw him, to be honest.
I don't recognise this Autobot at all.
It is a Triggerbot from, I think, like 1987 or 8. His name is Override.
Ah.
But there were 3 of them, and they all have flip-out weapons.
I mean, G1 still surprises me. I've never heard or seen of this character before.
It's cool though. It turns into a lovely little kind of a motorcycle.
Oh wow!
It's like one of those big motorcycles. I can't remember what you call them now. The Goldwing ones, the giant ones. Override doesn't know the meaning of the word subtle. Announcing his presence with a deafening blast of his engines, he wants his enemies to know he's coming. The only thing he loves more than blasting Decepticons is charging full throttle, tearing up the roads. Override loves shifting into powerful override gear, joining battles at frightening speed. Triggerbot guns blazing, full volume, with apparently no concern for his own well-being. But this is not true. Annoyingly vain, Override can spiral into depression at the mere sight of a scratch on his chassis. It's probably the only time he quiets down. There you go. You've just missed his body extends, making him a bit taller, and I think you can push that wheel up there so he sits. There you go.
Oh wow, thank you.
No problem. I thought I'd get you since I've been dabbling in vintage toys myself, I thought I'd get you a vintage G1 toy.
Oh. So are the others little bikes?
No, they're not. I think the one I remember the most is the one that turns into like a race car. I'm looking him up now. Backstreet. Yeah, he turns into like a kind of a race car, and then the other one I think is a jet. But they all have these flip-out guns with little triggers that make them flip out. But it's quite cool, nice little pickup. I'll take you to the shop where I bought that today.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm opening my present. Yeah. It's Star Trek versus Transformers from IDW, I assume. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give that a go. And, you know how I love crossovers. So it's like the 60s Star Trek.
Yeah.
Crossed over with Transformers. No, who's the writer? It's John Barber. He wrote quite a lot of the Not More Than Meets the Eye, the other one, Robots in Disguise.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. I'll stick that on my to read pile.
Would you get the man who's like read every comic book possible?
Well, I'm telling you, I haven't read every comic book possible. There's way too many comic books to have read every comic book possible. That's basically something that will take me the rest of my life and more. Well, thank you. So yes, so did you enjoy going to the pub and meeting our collectors group yesterday?
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, it obviously would have been great to have meet the whole assortment of people who go to this.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was only a couple, wasn't there? But it was good. Yeah, James was there and Dan.
Yeah, it was nice to meet them and have a little chat, because obviously Dan and James, they collect different things, so getting different perspectives on what they like.
Yeah, and they collect different things to me. Like,
of course, yeah, that as well. Yeah,
like Dan's perspective is really kind of G1 show accurate. He's pretty much just a masterpiece collector. But he just wants everything to be very... Like, he likes the toon look, whereas I'm not a big fan, so he's very into that. And, you know, we joke with each other about it, because, like, you know, he knows I find I'm not into it, and he is. And then, yeah, you've got James, who collects more than just Transformers. Like, he's kind of collecting a lot less Transformers these days, I think.
He's got his fingers in different pies, as it were, and...
Yeah, various pies, yeah.
So I could relate to that. Some descriptions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to him about that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I think he has a little bit more restraint than you do, but not much. He has got quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, so that was great fun. So yeah, talking of collecting, what have your collecting habits been like in 2023 this year?
I think so. Like at the beginning of the year, I think it started off fine. I think there was obviously a trickle of stuff that came in right at the end of last year, and things filtered through that I was waiting on from our end of show last year. Mm-hmm. But as the year went on, I think it kind of spiraled out a bit more crazy this year. I think almost crazier than last year.
I did notice, yes. No, I think is every one of these we do, you say, I'm going to rein it in a bit.
I think I did rein it in a bit last year. But I completely let it go.
Because I sometimes look at your Instagram and I think, he said he was reining it in. He's bought basketball players? Like, what is he buying all this stuff for? Yeah, there's been some surprising stuff just turning up. You just seem to be kind of dabbling in all kinds of pools.
I think I'm really starting to switch how I approach collecting this stuff, in terms of I don't necessarily need to collect everyone from G1 or heck, even the Unicron trilogy or something. I am more trying to just enjoy action figures and like messing stuff from different companies and seeing if things are worth their money that they claim it to be, and you know, what's the difference between like mainline stuff and high-end stuff. And it's become a bit more just trying out new things and seeing what I do and don't like.
Yes, if that's what you enjoy doing, you continue doing that. Just be careful, because you're running out of space.
Yes.
And well, we'll get on to that later. Mm-hmm. There's a revelation last night that I think almost nobody at the table could quite comprehend. That's a teaser for later. We'll talk about that later when we talk about something else. So, I mean, for me, I said that my New Year's resolution on the last show was to kind of quit toys, or for the at the very least cut down on them. And I really have. Like, I don't have a top 10 of toys because I have honestly only bought 10 new toys this year, like toys that were released this year. It is exactly 10, and I've sold 2 of them. So I'm down to 8. There's 8 toys in this room that came out this year. So doing a top 10 would be preposterous. I'd just be like, here's the 10 toys I bought in the order I like them. Not these are the best ones, you know. It would be very specific to me. So I have done that. So I mean, for various environmental and ethical reasons that allow me to, look down at my nose at ordinary, naive, feckless collectors like yourself, Dave.
Well, you've been doing a lot more actual vintage stuff this year as well.
Yeah, vintage and second hand. I bought quite a lot of second hand stuff, like modern stuff second hand. Like when I got back into JoJo Classified, I bought second hand figures then. Like I bought new ones, but a lot of them have been second hand. And yeah, and then as you will know from our previous episode, Starcom stuff, that's the beginning of my vintage dabbling, and I reckon I will probably dabble in more vintage as things go on. But I've been trying to buy stuff more from bricks and mortar shops, less importing. I haven't imported that many toys this year. My only guilty pleasure is New Age, and the only way to get that is to import it, really. Well, the only way to get it at any kind of reasonable price. Yeah, you can get them from a Mega Lock, and their prices aren't terrible, but it is a lot cheaper to go to places like Shozy and so on. So I still do occasionally order stuff from overseas, but I try not to. And I try to get stuff from bricks and mortar shops, buy stuff from Dave's Comics, buy stuff from the Playhouse, which is where I got that. You know, just buy stuff in shops here and off of people in the UK. Mm-hmm. And then also I've been dabbling in other things like buying old comics and stuff. So trying to complete that collection of Marvel UK Transformers and Action Force, which is getting there.
Yeah.
I think I'm just about. It's still that first 30, last 30 that I need, but the rest, it's all here behind me in these boxes. There's a few kicking about. I picked that one up recently. But yeah, Dave's got a whole box of them at the moment. The guy was like, because I had a few up on the wall, and I was like picking him. He goes, "You know, we've got a box upstairs." I was like, "Oh shit! I wish you hadn't told me that."
So, to sift through them all.
So I went upstairs and like looking through my list. Oh, I've got that, but it's in bad condition. This is in nicer condition. Okay, I'll get that one. Okay, great. So yeah, we're doing that. So yeah, that's me. My optics! Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I suppose what I would say, the toy industry has gone mad, hasn't it, in the last year, I think.
Mad how? Because
in that everything's massively expensive, everything's based around nostalgia.
Oh, that's not a new thing.
Oh, but it's getting worse.
It may be getting worse.
Like, Hasbro have completely given up, like, coming up with anything new. Like, Earthspark didn't go anywhere, and now it's like, oh, fuck it. We're just going to keep bringing out the same old characters over and over again, keep delving into old characters and put them out again.
I think it's really sad that that's the case, because, I mean, because we did have Rise of the Beast and all that, but it's like...
That went nowhere.
Yeah, like, I mentioned it when we were in the Butlers list, it's like, it's the follow-through, the synergy of it all just feels so delayed. Like, even if they are going to do this stuff, it's not Hasbro doing it, it's like a licensed company 4 or 5 months after it's come out. Like, why was these things not like all kind of happening at the same time, and why is there no...
It's not like they didn't have time to plan.
Yeah, it's just odd, like, that it feels so disjointed when it could be so... Like, when they control so much of it, they could really...
Yeah, they could have gone for it, and they didn't, really.
Yeah.
Like, the toy line was just kind of trickled out with no fanfare.
But it was weird. It was like a weird toy line as well. Like, when the Rise of the Beast stuff came out, I remember I sent you a picture of stuff, and it was like, why is Lio Convoy coming out of Prime's chest, and why is Air Razor out of Bumblebee? Like, what is this toy line?
I think they were trying to go for different price points and different audiences. Like, they were going for kids and then teenagers and adults all at the same time. But so they were doing different stuff, but it's, yeah, like I say, nothing tied together.
No, and it's like, I mean, I wouldn't say Rise of the Beast is not like you couldn't take a child to go see it, but not a child of that age, I would say, because there are bits in it where it's like, well, this is like unnecessarily scary, or like, you know, maybe characters die and stuff, like, you know, it's just, I don't get it.
I think it's suitably rated though, so kids can go and see it. I think, isn't it? It's like,
It must be like a 12A or something.
yeah, sadly, so kids can go see it. Yeah, no, but I mean that kind of leads on to them. I think the main problem with Hasbro is that they've completely given up making toys for children. They don't make toy lines for children anymore. They make toys for adults now.
But that's what I mean. Like we just talked about, the ones that were like really kiddie stuff. Like, who is that for?
But
like,
what they used to do is make toy lines for children and just enjoy the fact that some adult collectors also bought them. Now they make toy lines for adults and maybe some cheap ones for children, you know, who might just get one in the shops.
Those toys are even cheap. That's the thing.
Well, you know what I mean by cheap as a small and kind of crappy. But like they're targeted at this audience that will all go away soon. They're on a road to their own destruction because they're not inventing anything new. They're not moving on to anything new, and the prices are going up and up and up and up. I mean, you look at the price of some of the Hasbro stuff now; it's crazy.
I mean, like that Primal that they had that was that automorphed and could talk and do all this stuff. It was like £100 or something, and it was like, well,
who's going to buy that?
Yeah, but why? Like,
and then Titan class figures going up for £200, and by the end of the year, discounted to 70 or 80 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Are they making money on that? Like,
well, I mean, I guess maybe they aren't, but it's definitely, I think it's affecting more retailers and you know.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. I think that retro blasting video Michael French did that was called something like Hasbro have a giant problem with a giant man on it. That really kind of drilled down into that really well. So if anybody wants to look at that up, I'll put the link in the description of the podcast or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's another example. Like, well, no, we'll get to that later. My optics! So, let's get to down to our list, shall we? Something a bit more levity, a bit more fun.
Bit more upbeat.
But before that, should we do another gift?
Ooh.
I've marked good points with which to do gifts throughout the whole podcast, so how about another gift, eh? Alright. I've got you another one. I think this is the one. I think.
There you go. Good gift for this.
Thank you very much. I thought you might like one of those.
It's one of your display stands that are perfectly shaped for the shadow bows.
Yeah. I thought they're really, really good flight stands, and I thought they're really quite difficult to get. They're quite expensive, and the shipping's on them quite much. So I bought myself another 2, and I thought I'll buy 3 and give one to Dave.
Where'd you get them from? Like, what?
You have to buy them from sellers on eBay, and they're all based in America or China or whatever.
Oh, right.
So they're a bit pricey.
Oh, thank you.
No worries. You're welcome. And yeah, it's perfect for any flying Transformers, especially like in alt mode or whatever. Because like a lot of other stands are a bit
nah.
So I've got a funny feeling this is some kind of figure. Now I've got a feeling of dread. Yay! Right, well,
you have to understand, before Orion revealed what this is, I was given very strict rules about what I could get him.
Yeah.
Nothing Hasbro, no McFarlane tat. So I thought, we'll get him something that he's not got from a toy line he's probably never going to pick anything up from.
Yeah. So this is Super 7 transforms the movie Unicron. So the original Unicron design from the original toy line that never came out has been made into a little 6-inch like kind of plastic figure on a lovely card back by Super 7 Reactions line. Thank you very much. But yes, thank you very much.
You heard it here first.
There'll be more to this story. Right, so let's get into our top 5, shall we? Thank you, cheers. The rules are very simple. Toys have had to be released in 2023, and we have to have owned them or had extensive experience of them. There can't be a reissue or a KO of a previously released figure unless it's substantially different or to the original. And within reason, no repeats of the same mould. So, let's not have 1 to 5 is Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream, Acid Storm. Not that. We've never done that though. That just goes without saying, doesn't it? So in previous years, I've run down the last year's list, but you know what? They're there for you to listen to. You can go back and listen to them yourselves. Why am I helping you? Why am I stopping you from listening to more of our podcast? So I won't. But previously we've done 10. This year we're going to do 5. So before we start, what was your sample size this year, Dave? Like how many are these 5 figures taken out of?
It was like a good 20 or 30. That it was like, these are really great.
No, I mean the number of figures you bought this year.
Oh, like in total?
That came out this year.
Oh, I didn't count.
But you chose 20 and whittled them down to 5.
Yeah, and it was tough. And I did bring some of them.
See, I wanted 3, but you were like, can we do 5?
At least 5. I can maybe do 5.
Because I was like, I've only got 10, so let's just give you the top 3. That'll be fine. But yeah, so without further ado, let's start at the end. Let's start at number 5. Shall I start or do you want to start?
You start.
Yeah, I can't remember who started last year, but I'll start. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go grab mine off the shelf. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 5 for my 5th favourite figure this year out of the 10 figures that I bought is New Age Sludge in his comic book deco. I mean, I love New Age. I think that they are fantastic. I think they're making some of the best toys out there right now. And Sludge is beautiful. Like, really nice figure, really intuitive transformation. More intuitive, more fun than Grimlock was, to be honest. And I also think his deco's slightly better than Grimlock's, because Grimlock has got this kind of... The gold on Grimlock's got this kind of slightly kind of green kind of tinge to it, whereas it's not so much on this. It's interesting because they don't... I'll get Grimlock down and you can see they don't match quite as much as you'd think they would.
Is that a case of like...
I wonder whether
different comic panels or...
I think New Age are just making slight running changes to what they're doing, but I mean they still go well together. They still look great together.
Yeah, I mean this. Yeah. I have to say, like any of the New Age stuff, the Dinobots has been the ones where I'm like, that's one I really regret not picking up. Like,
you can still get them.
So good.
You can still get them. And Sludge comes with the panels that go on the inside the legs of Grimlock as well, so a lot of people didn't like the fact that he had all that exposed innards. So that's nice. I mean, I'm not too bothered, but it's nice. But yeah, so he's great. I have Swoop on order. I've paid the balance on him, so he should be coming soon. And I think if Swoop had been here, Sludge might have been edged out of the 5, only because I'm just more of a fan of Sludge. More of a fan of Swoop as a character than Sludge is a bit... He's not nothing. Like, he did have some stuff... Some stuff did go on with him in the comics. But, I don't know, I quite liked what was going on with Swoop and Dive Bomb. And that kind of stuff. So, but Swoop's not here, so Sludge is my number 5. Yeah, not much more to say about it. Comes with the right number of accessories, the right stuff. He looks great, transforms great.
Yeah, he looks great, and I mean, obviously the New Age scale is, it is Legend scale, but I've always found that their bots are kind of small, even in Legends scale world. But with the Dinobots being so big, it kind of makes more sense and it fits.
Yeah, New Age's car bots are a little bit too dinky. I think
they need to redo those. They're probably.
Oh well, they've redone some of them. They've done. I don't know. They go about their car bots in a weird way that's different to everything else. I don't know why. It's kind of they have kind of slightly weird stocky proportions. It's like they just recently announced Wheeljack, and he just looks a bit weird, a bit boxy in robot mode. The car mode looks fantastic, but it's not. I'm not buying it, but I do. Yeah, I do wish there are a few car bots that I would like, because I really don't like the materials that Magic Square use. So even though some of their car bots look better, I wouldn't be happy with the finish and the materials, the paint. They just wouldn't look right with the New Age stuff. Right, so let's see your number 5.
Well, number 5. He was going to be on this list without a doubt.
Oh, right, so this is
Transformers. What is the things that we're using now? Legacy. Evolution.
Well, United. I don't know. No, it's not United yet. I don't think. I think we're still in. Yeah. Anyway, we know what it is.
Transformers Legacy Armada Optimus Prime.
Yeah, have you bought the whole thing, or have you just bought the body?
I've just bought the body.
Sorry, not the body. The smaller guy. I mean, he looks fine. He looks kind of like the original toy, to be honest. Which makes you think, just buy the original toy. So, yeah.
I did, and his GPS was terrible.
Well, yeah, but the bendy one's okay, isn't he?
Yeah, the bendy one's fine.
Yeah, I liked the bendy one.
This is really, it's like a nice little update. I mean, it's not as high on the list as I thought it might be, because obviously I've mentioned on the podcast before, I've been drooling over that prototype they showed many, many years ago.
Yeah.
And been waiting for them to release it.
But this isn't it, is it?
It's not. They lost that prototype, or they had to make it again, but they changed things, and I don't actually really like all the changes they made. But it's still a really fun toy, and I really like the design of Prime from Armada. And I like his super mode. It's like a nice feeling Transformer when he's in the super mode as well, which obviously the original toy was not.
No, that's true. The original toy, it did suffer a bit with that auto transforming feature. It made it kind of it didn't have any kind of articulation, did it? And yeah,
it would fall apart even if you looked at it funny.
Yeah, because it was a kid's toy. Whereas again, like I was saying, Hasbro are now making toys for adults who were kids when that kid's toy came out, and the adults want ones with bendy knees and all that kind of stuff.
And I should also say that I did pick this up at TFN, and which also adds a little bit of nice little bit of fun. It was a nice thing to pick up there, and it was nice seeing. It was a lot of love for the Armada figures at TFN and people playing with them at the tables, and Armada Prime was on a lot of people's pickup lists.
Yeah. Well, I think at the time he was quite hard to find as well. He was still kind of... He'd just come out, and he was... Typical Hasbro distribution problems. Yeah. Like, it's make it really difficult for everybody, and everyone pays full price, and then 6 months down the line, you see them all flooding in cheap into discount stores.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that won't happen to him.
Not to my knowledge, hopefully.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But yeah. Oh, cool. Nice choice. Nice pick. Should I pick out my number 4? Mm-hmm. It's behind me. It is Takara Tomi's masterpiece, Dire Burnout. A couple of years ago, so not the last one, but the year before, so 2021, MP Reboot came top of my list, my number 1 toy of the year. And this is the same mould, roughly. I mean, it's the Skids one rather than... It's got some slight differences. But it's in a lovely black and orange colour scheme. Mm-hmm. This time it's a lady. Mm-hmm. And it's just really... It's a fantastic figure. And of the figures I bought this year, my fourth favourite. Just love it. Everything I said about it last time, really. Lovely realistic alt mode. Doesn't look like a transformer until you transformed it. Sadly, it's got blue windows, but I think blue windows works fine with the black colour scheme. Because smoky black windows with a black colour scheme might not. It might just look all like a big black blob.
Yeah.
So I will forgive the blue windows in this one instance.
It's been like this figure has been like a big draw to the MP line for some people, like this type of aesthetic of more realistic vehicles. But I think out of all of the colour schemes for them, the black does look really nice.
It is really nice, yeah. I had Skids for a short while and I sold him because I didn't really like Skid's head sculpt and I thought the red looked better. And I like my Transformers not to advertise the fact they're Transformers, and Skids had a big Autobot symbol on his hood. But it's nice now to get the Skids mould in the same kind of style, and they both go really well together, the two of them, and they both come with a little moped. So yeah, Dire Burnout came out with a little moped with a holographic spike, and sorry, not Dire Burnout, sorry, Reboost came with a little holographic spike and a little moped, and Dire Burnout comes with a holographic Carly and a little moped. Those arms fall off as soon as you look at them. Just saying.
Yep.
There you go. Told you. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's a piece of shit. It is absolutely awful. That little minifigure is so bad, but the little moped's lovely. It's perfect. It's really, really good.
Do you think they'll do any more stuff like this?
I don't know. It seems like it was an old mould or something, because the people were saying it's more like the old style of Masterpiece. I don't know. I mean, Masterpiece is such a kind of mixed bag these days. It doesn't seem to know where it's going or what it's doing, and the releases are coming out so slowly. Still, you used to be able to blame the pandemic, but now it's like, what is actually happening with this stuff?
I mean, them trains took ages to come out.
Yeah, exactly. At least they finished those now, so they can move on to something else. But like, yeah, the trains, and we've got a few announcements, haven't we, for next year? But like, it's not been much. So see what happens. But I don't know. I think that was a one-off. I think it was just a kind of, they got together with Honda. Got together with Honda and put that out. I'm glad they did. I really like them, and they've done like 4 flavours of them now. I don't think they'll be doing any more. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, how about we see your number 3?
Number 3. No, it should be my number 4.
Yeah, you're number 4, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's raining currently, listeners, but apparently it's going to clear up at 1 o'clock, so I'm going to go do a bit of a toy shopping and so on, and have a nice dinner out, and head to the pub, I would have thought. Right. Oh, right, okay. It's a guy with a motorcycle helmet on.
This is the Mezco Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yes, I know who it is, yes.
This is... I think I kind of... there might have been some others that would have taken this spot, but I kind of brought it just to show my transition of what my collecting has become.
Mm-hmm.
Because I distinctly remember talking about this figure when it was announced, when we started the podcast, and saying how I wouldn't buy it.
Really? Well, why was that? Why did you say you wouldn't buy it?
Because I didn't think that it would be leagues better than the Lightning collection that Hasbro was doing at the time, enough for me to warrant buying it.
Well, I think this sort of thing works perfectly for Power Rangers because it was a live action show. Mm-hmm. So having the fabric, having the kind of, the fabric suits and that is better than the hard plastic kind of stuff. It looks like a guy in a suit, which is what the TV show was. Whereas, it wasn't a cartoon. So, no, I think it works really well. I mean, I have no interest in Power Rangers whatsoever, but I can see that that's a good representation of what the Power Rangers look like and a good action figure of that. I think it works a lot better for something like that than it does for, say, Marvel superheroes or whatever.
Yes.
Because they're comic book characters, whereas this is a live-action TV show. So it kind of fits. It looks really good. I mean, if I saw all of those on a shelf, nicely posed, I think I would be impressed. Even if I'm not a fan of the franchise at all, I think that would look good.
And and
it's got that maturity I was talking about before. It's not kidsy.
That's what I was going to say. Something about the aesthetic of what they've done with their Power Rangers, it feels a bit more
premium.
Yeah, well, not even the premium part of it. It just looks a bit more
mature.
Yeah. Which I really like. I mean, I do like what they've done in the Lightning collection, but it's definitely this year also they've re-released the Mighty Morphin Team in a remastered version. That's what it did. Nowhere near what it should be for the price point. But this was an exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, and it was very hard to get, and it was very expensive.
Really?
That's the one thing. I mean, and then now I've got this, obviously.
Got to get the rest.
Yeah.
Are they difficult to get hold of? Are they expensive?
They're not exclusive, but it's in a big box set. We have to get them all together.
Oh, right. So it's going to be a big payout, one big payout to get them. Well, at least you get them all and you're done. You're not hunting the rest. Oh, what?
You say that. But then
what?
You can't have the complete team of Mighty Morphin without the White Ranger, who they have announced, but it will be another exclusive.
I mean, you sort of can. Isn't the White Ranger the same guy in the green suit?
Yes.
So you can't have them both on the shelf at the same time?
Correct.
So what, you're going to get another set to go with the White Ranger?
I think I would generally put them on the shelf together, but...
But that's wrong!
No,
they were never together.
They were.
Were they? Was there some kind of timey-wimey something or other?
More evil clones. They do that a lot in Power Rangers.
Okay.
But I out of all my franchises that I really am drawn to, Power Rangers always hold a sweet spot.
You were the right age at the right time for Power Rangers, I think.
Yes.
Whereas for me, it was like silly kid stuff.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before, but I mean, it like many things, actually, Power Rangers, I probably was too young for. But I just latched onto the movie, and then therefore, there we are.
All right. Well, with that said, it's number 3 time.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 3 is sort of your fault.
Oh.
It is Higher Toys Judge Dredd Meme Machine. Now, I got into this line big style this year as a result of you giving me Judge Dredd last year for Christmas, during one of these podcasts, and also as a result of seeing the 6-inch line that they were going to do and thinking, no, that actually doesn't look that good and it's really expensive. Whereas they've done loads of these now, the 4-inch ones. I've bought quite a few of these this year, but of the ones that actually were released this year, he's my favourite. I would say some of the other figures I like a little more than him, but he came out this year. But he's lovely. He's just really beautifully painted, really nicely articulated. Not the best articulation in the world, but certainly enough. Yeah, just the paint and the presentation is really, really good. And he is Meme Machine. You won't know who the fuck he is, will you?
He was in the movie, so yeah.
Oh, was he? What, in the Schwarzenegger movie? Not Schwarzenegger, sorry, Stallone movie. I've still not watched that properly.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Future episode incoming.
Oh, I don't know about that. But yeah, he's really nice. One thing I would say, though, I mean, the sculpting is fantastic, the paint is fantastic, his arm is wonderful. One thing I think that they skimped out on the accessories, maybe because he's got this big mechanical arm, but he's missing the other arm. So to be fair,
it should balance out.
It should balance out. But he's a little bit bigger than some of the other guys as well. But I reckon they should have packed him with extra heads because if you haven't read Judge Dredd, do. But also, one of the things about Mean Machine is that he has a dial on his forehead that goes from 1 to 4. Basically, it's how mean and angry he gets and how likely he is to headbutt you through a wall. Now, his dial is set on 3. I would like some where he's looking more angry with his dial set on 4. Or, some just one extra would be good, actually. Just one where he's looking more angry than this current face. He looks a little bit pissed off, but I'd like a more kind of shouty face as well. That's my one criticism.
I think that's a fair accessory one, yeah.
Yeah, because that's all you get. All you get is that and the bass. Like, there's nothing else. Whereas other guys, I've got Judge Cal up there. He comes with Judge Fish, and he's got a goldfish bowl and a few extra hands. Everybody comes with a few extra hands. There's no extra hands for this guy because he's got no hands. So, come on, give me a head. And Judge Cal comes with a second head.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, he's really beautiful. Really liked him. But there you go. That's my number 3. What do you think of him?
I think he's like a cool little... He's different, and I think that's what kind of helps him stand out amongst the other judges.
Mm-hmm.
They all kind of have like a uniform aesthetic, where he's quite more, like rustic, I don't know, Mad Max character or something like that. But he's like, does he come with like the different decos and stuff? Like, has there been different versions of this guy as well?
No. It's only really Judge Dredd that they've done loads of decos of, and Judge Death, I guess, as well.
Oh, okay, because I haven't seen them in shops as much as I used to, so I don't know if they've been redoing them in different ways.
No, I mean they've done lots of versions of Dredd, like in different black and white, all that kind of stuff, but they haven't done it with everybody. Oh. And they've done Dredd with a bike, Dredd without a bike, Dredd with Death as a ghost, Dredd punching a hole through Judge Fear's face. Like, they've done a lot of that. Oh, they've done Anderson in a box, and they've done things like that. But as far as Mean Machine goes, they've just done the one Mean Machine so far. I mean, I can't really think of many variants of Mean Machine. He's kind of standard. He's just like that all the time. So I just don't know what you'd do apart from doing a black and white version, maybe. But he's part of the Angel Gang, so I mean, if they release other members of the Angel Gang, I might have to get them to go with him, especially Fink Angel. He's pretty cool with his little rat. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm pleased with him.
Well, I'm glad that you liked the present last year, and
it's one of the few new lines I'm buying.
Yeah, and it's not a line that is going to take up much space, is it? It's like,
oh no, I've got like about 8 of them now, and they fit on half a shelf.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay, so let's hear your number 3.
Number 3. I think you're gonna like this one.
Not a lot.
No, I think you might.
I'm referencing something you probably didn't watch. Oh yes,
Mafex X-Men Magneto. Jim Lee styled Magneto.
Well, he's all right, yeah. I mean, yeah, no, it's good. I've never been a massive fan of the X-Men, as you know, but he does that thing what they wanted him to do, which is be very Jim Lee looking, and yeah. Again, not the biggest fan of Jim Lee either, really. He's all right. Obviously, he's very good, but he's just not necessarily my cup of tea. But no, it's very, very good. I do like... I think of all the Magneto figures that have been done, this is one of the best looking ones. A little bit like some of the... Well, most of the Mafex stuff is like that, though. Like that new Daredevil. Probably the best Daredevil anyone's done.
Yes.
Don't know if I'm going to buy it because it's expensive. But it is, yeah, it's very, very nice. Got a nice flowing cape with the wire in and everything.
I really like the cape. I like how it's got like the shiny finish on the inside and how it looks when it's all kind of lit up on a stand.
Yeah.
I appreciate it's got the different faces and the going on. I like his just there's like a kind of a wash in the red. It kind of helps it stand out. Yeah, I like it. It's just what I've always wanted from a Magneto figure, and like you said, from the different options.
It's about as perfect as a Magneto figure is going to get.
And I can understand the upset that some people had with its release, because a lot of people obviously got the other one.
It was a bit of a dick move, to be honest, by Mafex to put that one out first.
Because when people obviously bought that, customised it, or cut their long hair off.
Yeah. No patience. Need to wait. I mean, I could have ended up in that situation though. I mean, if I were a massive X-Men fan, I might have been like, well, they may never do it. But yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I did think that when they announced it, I thought, oh, you fuckers. After you brought that, was it Age of Extinction one out, or whatever? The one with Age of Apocalypse. Sorry, yeah, with the sorry, Age of Extinction is Transformers, isn't it? Yeah, Age of Apocalypse one, yeah, with the long hair and so on, and it was nearly there, like, because his costume's virtually the same. So yeah, it was like, well, it's close enough. But I think that should have given people the impression that, hang on, look what they've done with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They'll probably do it again. Look what they've done with Batman. Look what they've done with everything. They reuse stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I would not panic with Mafex. I'd be like, I might have to wait a few years for it, but eventually they will do the one I want. You know, they've done it. They've done loads of versions of loads of characters. So.
And they've done a few other X-Men characters this year, like Storm and Jean. But I mean, he took his top spot.
Yeah. No, he is very, very nice. I've got to say, of the ones that have come out recently, he's probably the one I like the most. I do like Magneto as a character. As I say, I'm not a massive X-Men fan or a massive Jim Lee fan, but I do think that that's the perfect representation of that era of that. And I'm sure at some point Galactus will get me to read some more X-Men and grow more of an appreciation for X-Men. But that's another podcast. All right, anything more to say about it, or shall we move on to my number 2?
Move on number 2, yeah.
Right, so oh yeah, so you all right? Virtual Amy. Virtual Amy's joined. She's having some breakfast. Right, so yeah, my number 2 is up here. It's New Age Jetfire, which is actually the first figure I got this year. Pretty much the first new figure I got this year, anyway, for certain. It's the EX deco, which is basically it's just kind of premium deco, I guess. It's got a kind of pearlescentness to it. It's not the toy deco. It's not the toon deco. It's something kind of slightly different. It's not even a comic book deco. It's just a kind of slightly shiny kind of deco.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's very, very nice. Yeah, of the ones that they announced, that was the one that I wanted the most. So I waited for it to come out. Had quite a lot of points on Shozi and bought it early this year.
Yeah, it was an expensive one, wasn't it? It was way more than like the standard.
Well, it's basically deluxe size. Like it's quite a big figure.
No. I mean, of the versions of him, like even.
Oh yes, he was a little bit more expensive than the toon version.
Because I remember looking at, I think there was a time where I was looking at him and Grimlock, and I was like, maybe, and it sat on my maybe pile for way too long.
But yeah, I mean, it's the usual New Age can do no wrong in my eyes thing. You know, like they're the best. They are the best company making Transformers toys right now, which, you know, is a big up yours to Hasbro, really. But yeah, it's a really, really well put together figure. Really, really great transformation. Loads of articulation. You can't fault it. The only thing I would say is because it's the size it is, because it's kind of basically deluxe size, I think they kind of went a deluxe figure route with it. It's not really done in the same style as the Legends, in that you don't have interchangeable hands. You just have one set of hands which have got typewriter fingers, as it were. Like, there's no splayed out hand. It would have been nice to have some hands or options, which you don't have. But other than that, it's fantastic. Yeah, transformation is really, really simple, straightforward, but also clever. Looks great in both modes. Another home run for New Age, I think. And I mean, to be honest, this whole top 5, they're all quite interchangeable, especially towards the top. They're just the 5 figures I like the most from this year, really. And when you find out, when we get to number 1, you kind of understand why number 1's not really... I don't know if it really counts. Do you want to talk about it at all?
No, I've been. This is definitely one of the figures from New Age that really caught my eye, and it was something that was very tempting. But I think I was more taken in by the Devi this year, because that was something I did pick up from them.
Well, that was my number one last year, I think.
It was indeed, yeah. When I got to saw your handling of yours, it was like, oh, maybe I should go for that instead.
Yeah, it is a beautiful. I mean, the Devastator is great. It's really, really good. You did get the Toon version though, like a chump. But people are wrong sometimes, and
I like my Devastator with sunglasses on. What's wrong with that?
yeah, well, he's wonderful. He's got the little insignia swapping gimmick. I can switch between Autobot and Decepticon if I so wish.
It's one of the ones where it like really makes the masterpiece look bad. It doesn't look the best anyway, but this makes it look even worse.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you on that. I think the masterpiece looks derpy. I think is the word. It has a derpy face. It has weird kind of odd proportions. It's that trying to be too close to the show model crap that it's not just masterpiece. It's not just Takara that do it. It's fans toys do it now as well. You know.
Yeah.
Because they're just following the herd, aren't they? Really, and the herd leader, regardless of what you think of their stuff, is still Takara Tomy. Even if you're a massive Fans Toys fan, Fans Toys are following them. They may be doing things better in certain ways, but they're still the leaders of what the line is, I think.
I guess it's so that people continue to buy their stuff to fit in with what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's my number 2. What about yours?
Number two. Oh, yeah. See, my number 2 is going to be a little bit of a cheat.
Really?
Because I couldn't pick which one, but I think it's going to be if I had got them all, it would be the line in general.
Oh, okay.
This is the Jada Toys Street Fighter line.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of like mainline £20 action figures.
Oh, no, you're saying they're 20 quid. Yeah, they're nice. I was going to say they feel a little bit kind of flimsy and like this kind of plasticky thing. But no, yeah, if they're 20 quid, yeah, they're really nice.
Considering like Hasbro figures are 20 quid and they're just repainted blind bodies, the stuff that this company's done, and like a toy company that's been metal cars for like the last 10 years, they can make some pretty good action figures. Yeah.
So meant to be a little, exactly because it's twisted. Why is there's a big divot in her thigh?
Oh, we don't question Chun-Li's size. We just...
Sorry?
We don't question Chun-Li's size.
No, but what's going on here?
Oh, it's just probably misaligned.
I think it's... Anyway, it's fine. They look good. Yeah, again, I'm not a massive Street Fighter fan. This is the thing, you buy things from so many different franchises, and like, you can't be a fan of them all, or massive fan of them all.
I think like it's just that these different franchises mean things to me in different ways. Like I wouldn't say that I am a fan of Street Fighter the same way I am of X-Men or Power Rangers, but it definitely means something to me, Street Fighter, in terms of fighting games and video games in general from that era.
Fair enough. For me, it was just a fad that was, it was fun for a while, but then moved on.
I mean, like I'm not really interested in like the lore of Street Fighter. I'm aware of it, but I enjoy playing the games. Street Fighter 2 and I'd probably say Alpha probably has like the aesthetic I like the most of Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'd say that they're probably the ones that most people gravitate towards because it's that classic look.
And of course, then there's X-Men versus Street Fighter, which makes sense when I'm having them beat up each other. So
cool. No, they're very nice. Yes, you've brought 2, Chun-Li and Ryu out, or Ryu. I always call him Ryu, but now you get people on the internet saying it differently. Now I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, they're really cool. They look like the characters, and they're quite nice figures. And for 20 quid, yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Definitely putting Hasbro to shame there. I mean,
Definitely. I think that's the thing that's probably what's made them push up the list so much is that they're mainline figures that are not crazily expensive. They don't have accessories out the wazoo, but they do have accessories.
Yeah.
And enough. Like, I don't need 10 different fighting posed hands. He's only got 2 different ones and an energy effect and a stand.
that's still a lot.
That's all I need.
That's about as much as you get with an average Marvel Legends.
Oh, sorry, and an extra head.
Yeah, that's about as much as you get with an average Marvel Legends, or more.
Not standard though. That is their standard. They have it for everyone. Like for Marvel Legends, you might get.
Well, that's what I mean. So in a way, they've got it's better.
Yeah.
Like the amount level of accessories.
It's consistent, and that's what I think a lot of people are crying out for. Just at least be consistent with your releases.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. No. Good choice. Good choice. Well done. Are we on to number 1 already?
We are indeed.
Okie dokie. Well, I reckon before we do number 1s, we should do another present.
Whoa.
I've got you something down here. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. There we go. It's in some really nice wrapping paper. It's an envelope with Merry Xmas written on it.
What little thing? I know who this is.
Yeah.
It's that guy from that film I didn't see this year.
No, it's that guy from that comic book that film you didn't see this year is made about.
DC Direct?
Pardon? No. Well, yes.
Essentials?
Well, it is by DC Direct, but I think it is anyway. It's DC Icons.
Icons.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle.
It is, yes. Which I have one of my own, but I thought you should have. I thought you should have a good Blue Beetle figure because you've got some shit ones. So here's a good one. And look, it comes with the wings and the weapons. You don't have to buy 2.
I was not happy about that, but I did it.
I know you did. I know you did. You bought 2 of that McFarlane movie one just so you could get wings.
Oh, I should say that this is the Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle as well.
Yes, yeah, the same one that appears in the movie that came out this year. That I've not seen either.
It's a cool little figure, and yes, I know the problem with McFarlane figures. I've bought enough of them now to know what their problems are. But yeah, this is a nice little guy.
Yeah, the only thing that's buying it again and like playing about with it and getting mine out. The only thing that I think that this lacks that modern figures have is the head neck articulation is really poor. But everything else is as good, if not better than a McFarlane figure, you know. And it hasn't got ugly joints all over it, like it, and it looks like the comic book character rather than the movie character, which I wasn't a big fan of anyway. But that's an aesthetic choice, and also it will work. As you said the other day, actually, you were looking at mine, and it works because he looks like a teenager because he's shorter, smaller.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, can make it work.
You can make it work, and you can go with your comic book characters rather than your movie characters.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. No worries. You're welcome.
I should give you your present. I'm not quite sure which order to give these in. Yeah, I'll go with this one.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a square, well, kind of oblong box. It's quite well taped up.
I apologise for my Christmas dinosaur wrapping.
No, it's nice. I like it. Yes, the wrapping paper has Dynamite Christmas and Santasaurus. And I can't bloody get into it. Right. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. What is it? It's a box. Oh my lord. You are mental. That's very, very nice of you. And now my final present's going to be such a joke now. So this is the 1/12 Mezco Judge Dredd.
Uh-huh.
You've really gone too far, mate. That's very, very nice and very, very generous of you. It must have cost you a bit of money.
It's
So, thank you very much. It was very nice of you. Now I feel, and I'm going to have to pay for your dinner tonight or something. Oh, it's the black and white one.
It's the black and white one.
Yeah.
Since you already have the hires,
Yes. No, that's very, very nice. Thank you. I'm going to just pop this open and have a little... Second hand, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. Although it looks new. Oopsie daisy.
It's magnetised.
Oh, right, is it? Oh, I see.
You've got to take the shoulder pads off.
Sorry, this is great radio, as it were. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the shoulder pads kind of magnetise off. Let's go grab the shoulder pad that fell off on the floor here. The eagle one. Oh, I see. So everything's magnetised. That's kind of nuts. Oh, that is really, really cool. Thank you. That's really nice as well. I do like, and what's nice is it doesn't promote me to start a new collection.
No,
it's just a one-off lovely figure. No, that is really, really, really generous of you. Thank you. Very, very cool. I will cherish that. That's great. And oh god, when we get to our final present, it's going to be such. All right. Well, I suppose now that's out of the way. We should do number one. I'll do that later. Right. It's going to come as no surprise, I think. My number one figure. Yes, it's the HasLabs. HasLabs, sorry. I keep calling it HasLabs, and I've realised that that's not what it's called. It's like people who call Tesco Tesco's. It's HasLab G.I. Joe Classified Hiss Tank. Now, me and this Hiss Tank have been on a long journey together. Started way back. Way back. I was buying classified. I was thinking, oh, I'm quite liking buying classified. They're like it's mainline figures, which I've not been buying mainline Hasbro figures for years. And I was buying classified, and I was like, these are nice. I like these. But then as I amassed more, I was like, but they're all just 6-inch tall army guys, and they all just kind of blend into each other. The more you get, the less impact you get in a way. You just get all these just rows and rows of boring dudes. So I quit collecting G.I. Joe Classified. And then they, not long after that, announced that they were going to do a HasLab, which I'm not a fan of the concept of. We've gone over this many times, of the Hiss Tank, which is probably, to me, one of the most iconic G.I. Joe vehicles there is. Probably the most iconic G.I. Joe vehicle. I mean, outside of the Sky Striker, maybe, or maybe one or two others, but generally, the Hiss Tank is that vehicle. And it looked amazing, and I watched it blast through its target like on the first day, and then kept going on, and more extras were added, and I managed to slowly convince myself that it was a good idea to buy it, to pledge on it. And in the last few days I did. Right towards the end I cracked, and I pledged, and I've been regretting that decision ever since. Because it was like, right, now I've got to buy more G.I. Joe Classified, and I did. I think I'm just going to go with Cobra. I'm going to have a Cobra collection, and this is going to be the centerpiece of the collection when it arrives. And I bought lots, and then I witnessed Hasbro being total dicks to their customers over and over and over. I witnessed them make G.I. Joe Classified into a Hasbro Pulse exclusive line in the UK, which is another dick move. I've experienced their awful customer service through buying Classified. I have quit buying G.I. Joe Classified and Hasbro products. This is the last one. But I couldn't cancel it because it's HasLab. So I had to wait for it to come out. And it finally came out. We were worried it wasn't going to come in time for this podcast, to be honest. And some people in America are still waiting for theirs. Like, it weirdly came out in the UK first, which isn't an unusual thing. So, All that said, it is amazing.
It looks fucking great, mate. I don't know what to tell you.
It is amazing. It is a beautiful thing. It's kind of what a HasLab is. If you're gonna do HasLab, if you're gonna crowdfund, as abhorrent as that is from a multi-million-dollar company, if you're gonna do that, this is how you do it. Like, this is an event, you know. And so few HasLabs have been since. Like, the Barge was, I'd say Unicron was. This is just enough to count as an event. I think anything less would not be. But it's so well done. It's got everything you need. They haven't cut any corners. Yeah, it's just dead good. It's just really, really good. It's everything you want from a 6-inch scale his tank, which, to be honest, is a bit big because really, in a weird way, G.I. Joe maybe shouldn't be 6-inch. It should probably stay where it was because the vehicles would then fit on your shelves and stuff. But, you know.
I think this is, like, it's big, don't get me wrong, it is big, but it's not too big. Like, it's definitely shelf-worthy for the right type of display and maybe big enough for you to have it on a table for pictures and stuff, but it's reaching that point of, like, yes, too big.
Especially if you're... Some people are army building these.
See, now that, maybe, yeah, that make it more difficult.
If I had, say I just pulled out 3 of them, you know, like, where am I going to put that? The box is huge, the toy is huge. I had to find extra space to put the box, because I'm not throwing the box away, because you know what, this is going to be worth... I've seen them already going for 500 quid on eBay.
I mean, I see Unicorn going now for over $1,000. I mean, it was great. Like...
Not saying that I bought it to sell it, but if I ever did want to sell it, I'd obviously want to keep all the bits, just to, you know, maximise what I'm going to get for it.
As you should.
But no, it's great. I think that it's come out better than what the initial kind of mock-ups. I think the proportions are better on this than the mock-ups. I think it looks more like a his tank, and it looks fantastic in the classified look and in the kind of classic look, where because you've got a different canopy you can put on for the classic look and different kind of covers for the treads. It looks great in both. The whole package is great. The lights really, really kind of like sell it as well. It's brilliant.
You can get all the characters, all the weapons, all the different accessories.
Yep, I've got a carded Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, which I'm not planning on opening. I'm probably just going to keep that as an investment. I wasn't going to open it anyway. I've got a Cobra Commander. I've got the original Cobra Commander from the line. I'm quite happy with that. I prefer the classified style to going too classic, because it's veering into that toon accuracy thing.
Yeah, I mean, they did do a couple of that Cobra Commander. There's like one that is kind of
not that mold though. That's new.
No. I mean
the other one.
Classifiers ones.
Yes.
Yeah, where I think that maybe fit a bit better, but. I like it, man.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it does everything you want, and no QC issues, no massive complaints. No one's going, "Fuck you, Hasbro." Mm-hmm. They've done a good job of it. I think there's really nothing I can complain about. It's what I asked for. It's what I paid for.
Even with some extras, you said that.
There were one or two things like the gunner comes with a gun we weren't expecting, and there's they added a shield that you can clip onto the front of the gunner's turret. They didn't have to do that, so yeah, that's nice of them. They suddenly appeared. Like I think when they did the unboxing, it was like, oh, we've got this. So where's that come from? Okay. So yeah, no, it's brilliant. Yeah, everything. I think I've kind of covered it.
As an outsider of G.I. Joe, I've bought some classified over the last couple of years, and I think they're fine and stuff. But I've never had the draw to collect classified, say like Transformers. I may, after our episode on G.I. Joe, we did. I may know some of the characters a bit better now and know why people want them looking a certain way and stuff. But It's just as a outsider looking in, visually, I've always thought the aesthetics were really cool, and definitely it's one of those things where the Cobra guys look better than the G.I. Joe good guys.
To an extent, yeah.
You know, visually, just popping off of a shelf, the Cobra guys have been more interesting to look at.
Yeah, no, I think that, yes, I like the Cobra guys. Although, obviously you have that kind of like army building kind of like, everybody's a rank and file soldier in. Well, a lot of people in Cobra are like. There's not so many. There are one or two, but there aren't really army builders on the Joe side. They're all individual characters mostly.
They're more specialists, very specific things.
Yes.
In different. Sport jerseys or...
Yes, yeah, they all have different... Yeah, I mean, it's impressive that they managed to make them all look so different in a way. But the thing was, the draw of the line was the vehicles. Like, that was it for me when I was a kid. It was like, yeah, these guys are quite cool. And I did buy carded guys, obviously, but the vehicles were the main event.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just to pour a little bit of a vinegar on these chips... I can't say it feels like it's worth £300.
I mean...
200 maybe?
After comparing it with Turtle Van last night...
But that's not worth 250 quid.
No. But if you were gonna put a price tag on the difference...
Oh, the difference between the two?
Yeah,
sure, you could, yeah. I mean, in fact, probably more, because you get, well, like James pointed out last night, you don't get any figures with that. You get 4 figures with this. And one's on a kind of retro carded back, and I've seen Cobra Commander go for 100 quid already. So, like, yes, but that's the whole thing about HasLab, isn't it? Like, it's that kind of like... exclusivity that then produces ridiculous aftermarket prices. So we can't really use that as a measurement. But I'm just saying, is this £300 worth of product? I don't know if it is. Maybe 200. But I mean, the base offering certainly wasn't worth 300 quid. But with all the extras,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a glorious centerpiece to a collection I have quit. It's over. Like I say, and it's the time since I backed it, Hasbro have gone from bad to worse. And I just can't conscionably support them with my money. I just don't think it's the ethical thing to do. They are arseholes. And I'm not going to give them any more of my money until they start acting responsibly. So that's it. That's the last Hasbro product I will ever own. Well, not ever own, probably, but like that I'm paying for quite some time, if ever. It's done. And I mean, to be honest, I paid for this last year. So I mean, there are other Hasbro products I paid for this year, but this is the last one to turn up. There you go. Thank you very much, Hasbro. You horrible, tone deaf, creatively bankrupt corporate bastards. Cheers.
At least you went out on a good note.
Oh yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a great last hurrah, isn't it? In a way, like I mean, I couldn't choose anything better to be the last Hasbro product that crosses over the threshold of my flat, as it were. There you go. So let's hear about your number one there. Unless you want to talk a bit more about the tank, but I think you've covered it, haven't you?
Well, now that you've got this. What are your thoughts on, like, said Dragonfly that will be coming out, and like, because that's way bigger than this, right?
It's bigger in that it's longer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's actually like, as far as mass goes, big. Like, because this is really compact and chunky and heavy. That's just got a very long tail on it, really. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's also got the big stand, and like it's going to be a...
Yes, it's got a big stand. Yeah. But I don't know whether there's more or less plastic in it. Maybe a bit more. Okay. And it is a bit cheaper.
Yes.
But I think Hasbro have realised that they can't always... They're learning what they can get away with. That's the problem with HasLab. Is like, the more people back a HasLab project, the worse the next one's going to be.
Right.
Because they go, we can get away with less. We can get away with less and less and less and less until you're buying a blank body, a giant man, literally a giant man, blank body, with 2 faces, and that's it. You're backing that, and you're waiting a year to get it.
Who would do that?
Who would you? Yeah, who would do that?
Ooh.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the Dragonfly is. I mean, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to get it. I'd say this is the last one, but the Dragonfly is cool, if that's what you want. But it's huge. I mean, like I say, it will take up more space. Even if it's maybe not got more mass, it's going to take up more space than this.
Yeah. Be interesting to see it all though. I mean, I've mentioned I've not been keeping up with a lot of people's posting and stuff of it, but it'd be nice to see what people do with his tank, like toy photography wise. Like, I think it makes a cool background for displays, or you can get some cool shots of them going in and out, doing all the bits and bobs inside.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the coming months there's going to be some real cool stuff visually from fans.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with the process, but I'm happy with it. All right, so what's your number 1? Come on.
Number 1.
Well, this shouldn't come to the surprise of anyone who has been following my page this year.
Oh, that's 2 again.
It's 2 again, but you know, I couldn't have one without the other.
Well, okay, fair enough.
They are Ish. That's the name of the company. ISH.
And did they come out this year then?
Scott Pilgrim figures.
Did they come out this year?
One of them came out last year,
Right.
but the other one did come out this year.
Which one came out this year?
Ramona came out this year.
Right. So this is exempt. Sorry, Scott.
They did do a Scott this year. I just didn't bring that one. I brought this one.
Right. Okay. They're not really very posable, are they?
They're statue.
They're statues with bendy arms.
Statued figures.
But they do look very cool. They do look very much like the comic book.
Anyone knows, I am a big fan of Scott Pilgrim comic book, video game, movie. I'll take it all. I do quite enjoy the franchise and the characters. There hasn't really been many Scott Pilgrim figures over the years. I think Mezco did do some like this about 6-7 years ago. But these ones are probably like the best looking, and I know they're not fully articulated, but I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you're going to stick them on a shelf and then in a pose, and you're done, aren't you? Yeah. So long as you can get a good pose out of it. And
they come with quite a bit of stuff, you know. They come with a lot of hands, different weapons and accessories and different things. So you've got options with what you do with them. The only thing with these figures that I would probably say, it's not really a negative, it's more of just being a collector who wants everything, is they're not going to do everybody. They've done Scott and Ramona in one outfit last year, and they've done Scott and Ramona in different outfits this year, with plenty of variations among that. But I mean, I'd be happy with just the band. That was all I would really want.
Yeah, but it's probably diminishing in returns. Like you're gonna get more people buying Scott and Ramona than anybody else.
Well, these were they were like a low run thing. They wasn't like.
Yeah, but they know they can sell them all, I guess.
Yeah.
That's at probably a reasonably high price. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's more like, well, if we do the drummer or whatever, we're gonna do drums with her. That'll be a more expensive set because you have to have a drum set.
That's fine with me.
No, but what I'm saying is, would that sell? Would people buy that?
Yes.
Enough people.
If they're doing small run things, it's not going to be in like.
Yeah, but then you've got to worry about. Then you've got to think about your profit margin on that. You know, because a small run is more expensive. So, you know what I mean? You go for the big characters, so I can understand why they might not go for the less popular character.
I mean, I understand the reasons why. It doesn't mean I don't want it.
No, I'm not. No, exactly. No. I get that. And you did say that at the beginning. It's just a fan. I'm never happy until I've got what I want, kind of thing.
I mean, I obviously like the great thing would be to have like all the evil X's or something. But I think I would just be happy with just the band. The other two, and you'd be fine. It's really strange because these figures had, I think, about 4 variations, like a glow in the dark one, Ramona with all their different hairs. Like, you know, they really got their uses out of the molds. and they all sold out.
Well, I guess that's another thing. Like, if you did some of the other characters, you maybe wouldn't be able to do all the repaints and redos.
Maybe, yeah, that might be another reason. 'Cause
Yeah.
that is part of it.
No, they're very, very nice. They're not so much action figures as statues, but they are really well done. And if you love that comic book and you're looking for something that matches the art, then that's exactly what you've got.
I mean, there isn't many comic books that I've read come to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, comic books I'm interested in reading because it's so short. You know, it's definitely up there.
Good choice. Well done.
And I really tried to make it an effort in this list this year, is to not pick something from the same toy line or franchise.
Yep. I mean, I haven't got much choice in the matter
Yeah.
because I only bought 10 toys. But, I mean, I only had 2 New Age toys in the list. And only one Hasbro one, and one Takara one, and the other one was higher. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a fairly good mix. But, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think my number one is a bit of a cheat because it's £300, which is £200, at least £200 more than every other figure in the list.
Yes.
And it's a set. It comes with figures. It's just that it's the biggest event. The biggest toy event of the year for me is this. So it had to go number one. And it just come, and it is amazing. Right, well, that's our list, isn't it? That's everybody done. That's we can go home.
See you folks, we're off to the pub.
Yeah, well, maybe not quite. It's only 1:45, guys. I could crack open a beer though, maybe. So, have you got any honourable mentions or runners up you'd like to mention?
Yes, of course I do.
I am going to crack open a beer, you know. This is you're a bastard for getting me that. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I can't possibly. Honestly, you're gonna laugh your head off when you see what I got you for your last present.
There's still one more present to come.
I know. It better be something shit from you. Right, runners. Oh well, I'm not actually. To be honest, I'm not surprised, but I was a little surprised it wasn't in the list actually.
He's on the list, but way further down. So
right on your list of 20. So what I'm holding in my hand, guys, is is it Mezco?
Mezco.
Oh, it feels a bit weird.
It feels weird, doesn't it? It feels so weird.
It's Mezco, Batman 89 Batman, and he's in this rubberized suit, but it's really thick rubber.
Weird, isn't it?
And it feels he's basically got spongy limbs.
There's a metal armature in there.
It feels a little bit like a sex toy or something. But he is very good, and he has that static head. Oh, wait, magnets on.
Magnets on.
Yeah, it's cool. It looks like it's getting a bit filthy in his crotch area. Has he been rubbing it a bit too much?
I didn't. When those figures came out, they had this powdery coating on them.
Yeah.
And I didn't use any of their methods to take it off, so I'm almost scared to do anything too crazy with it because it's
a little bit of water or something.
Yeah, water would take it off, but. I think it was a bit dirty in that film anyway.
Well, yeah, it will have been. Yeah. No, it's very nice. It looks like the character. Yes, absolutely. And then you've got me a robot dinosaur.
Yeah, it's Grimlock.
I'm assuming this is Power Rangers.
I see you're on the ball today.
Well, it looks like Power Rangers because it looks lame.
This is the Super 7 Ultimate Tyrannosaurus.
Okay, don't. Yes, it's an articulated dinosaur, that's for sure.
With Power Rangers, the Zords tend to kind of suffer from the Transformers problem of, they kind of suffer because of the transformation of making a big robot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these figures now that Super 7 have done, they don't transform, so they can put all the crazy articulation into just the Zord.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Apart from this and the Dragon Zord, you can't really do much with the others, so this is all you're going to get, but I kind of like that. I kind of enjoy this.
They're not the combining ones, they're just the individuals. So I suppose a lot of the the combining ones are compromised because they have to combine. So.
And it's very rare that we get a Zord articulated, and that doesn't do that and combine. So.
No. Very, very nice. Is that the full extent of your runners-up?
There was another one, but I didn't. Oh, I did bring this one just for you to mess with.
Okay.
But.
Oh, good lord. So this is this Hasbro?
It's Hasbro.
So this is Marvel Legends, Spider-Man Into the Multiverse, whatever it's called.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. It's Green Goblin from that.
Mm-hmm.
His weird costume. That weird kind of we've got to make the original costume from the Tobey Maguire movies look more comic book. So we're going to put a torn purple shirt on him, and that will help.
That'll do it.
And give him has he got a head with his actual face as well?
Does. I didn't bring that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. No, he's nice enough. I mean, if that's what you want.
And there's this. If you notice, there is no Dragon Ball Z figures are this high in the list. This was a lot further down.
Who's this by then?
This is SH Figure Arts.
Is it?
Dragon Ball Z Turles. And who does this character look like if you were just looking at him normally?
They all look like Goku.
This one especially looks like Goku. Kind of was like an evil version of Goku from a movie that's not canon in Dragon Ball. It's a really nice figure. I like the sculpt. I like his really buff legs.
Yeah, the cape's a bit.
Oh, it's one of those. It's
Whoopsie daisy! What just fell off there then?
probably one of his shoulder pieces.
Yeah. What? Oh, did it come from underneath?
Yeah, he's got someone on his pants as well.
There you go. There's your shoulder piece. There you go. You can have that back. No, he's very nice. You put one of those in number 1 last year, didn't you?
I
So
did indeed.
yeah.
And the one that is not here, it's probably one of my favourite Transformers after Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Shattered Glass Rodimus?
Yeah.
I really like that figure because I really like the mould in Studio 86, but having it in black and silver and the purple.
Yeah. Cool. It was. You did bring me the first one. He was a really nice figure. He was in the list last year or the year before.
Yeah, the year before. Yeah. That is my runners-ups that I've got.
Okay. Well, my runners-up are this guy, which is the G.I. Joe Classified Range Viper. Now, he was one of my favourite figures as a kid. I loved the figure. I just thought he was the coolest. I thought he had the whole cool skull motif thing and the brain. I just liked everything about it. I just thought he was great. So when they said they were doing one for Classified, and it was right towards the point where I was about to quit Classified, I still was like, I'm gonna have to get some of these. And I pre-ordered 3. I had a set of 3 for a while, and I sold 2 off recently. So I've just got the one. I'm keeping him because it's a thing from my childhood. It's a character. Well, it's not really a character, but it's a toy I had as a kid that I really have a lot of appreciation for. Now, he's not in the top 5 because the other stuff was just better. I mean, it's Hasbro. It's not. There are problems with it. Mm-hmm. There are some really ugly mold lines on his hands. And every one of the 3 I bought had some kind of small issue. Like, not one of them was perfect. So, like there was a spot of paint where it shouldn't be, or there was a mold line or whatever. They all have their little issues. So yeah, him, and then also Higher Toys. So I knew I dropped that. There it is. Higher Toys Judge Cal. Oh, sorry, Chief Judge Cal. Now, he's a proper bastard in the comics, and a complete lunatic.
You were explaining...
Sorry?
You were explaining me the fish he makes a judge, right?
Yes, he comes with Judge Fish in a bowl. Here it is. He makes his pet fish a judge. Yeah, he's a lunatic. So, I like him, but I like Mean Machine more than him, so I put Mean Machine in the list. And finally... he's in the other room, so I'm not going to get him that right now. But the retro style Classified Storm Shadow.
Oh yes.
He's really cool. I liked him a lot. He's more the figure I wanted over the one that came out, the regular classified one. He just looks more in line with the kind of original Storm Shadow.
I mean, it's one of those. It's the retro ones, right?
Yeah.
In the card backs.
Yeah.
Those ones, like I said, like an outsider looking in, like I don't really always see what the big changes are, and I think the Storm Shadow one was the one that was like hardest for me to like. Well, what's the difference? I don't see it, but
There's very small differences. There's some slight deco differences.
Yeah.
But mostly it's that he hasn't got gauntlets on, he's got bare hands, which is what the original figure looked like. And he doesn't have a hood that comes up over it. He's got the kind of down hood thing that you can take off if you wish, but he hasn't got that hood that goes on.
it looks right when they have.
It looks rubbish. Anyway, so I mean, I wouldn't use it anyway if I had the other one. He still has the issue where his quiver is over the wrong shoulder. Now, I know that no one cares, but I do, because he can't possibly draw an arrow for his bow with it over the wrong shoulder. It would be... He's fucked, essentially. So, come on, Hasbro. Fix that next time. But, no, he's a really nice figure. I really like him. He's really articulated. He works really well. I would have liked... Because the other one came with a hand that was specifically for pulling back arrows, and this one doesn't, and that was a little annoying.
Yeah.
He's got a trigger finger instead. Stop putting trigger fingers on guys who don't have any guns, Hasbro. It doesn't make any sense. He hasn't got a single gun. So why has he got 2 trigger fingers?
It makes no sense.
Stupid. Stupid.
Maybe the person who sculpts their hands just really likes guns.
Maybe the person who sculpts their hands is just really lazy.
My optics!
Alright. So, shall we run over our top purchases, regardless of what year they came out? Have you got a few?
I haven't brought any with me.
No, but yeah, let's just hear it then. Have you got them in order, or do you just want to go through?
I don't have it in order.
Me neither. This will be nice and fast. Go on.
I got the SH Figure Arts Ozaru and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
I say that and realise you have no idea what that is. Hang on a second.
It's I know who Vegeta is.
You know who Vegeta is, yeah?
Yeah, he's like a Saiyan guy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what Uzaru means or whatever he just said. But I'm sure it's very nice.
Any second now. That.
Oh, so the monkey.
The
You could just say the monkey one.
The Great Ape is what they're called.
Yeah, the giant ape one. Yeah, okay. You got that one, yes. And that's obviously came out, what, previous year or something, or...
Probably like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe less than that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's big. It's like one of their bigger figures. And it's something I never thought that I would be able to find at a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was selling it just to make some space. And he was selling it for a good price.
Yeah.
I had a little chat with him as well about it as well. About the collecting. That was a nice figure. The MDLX line got the Megatron earlier in the year.
Which what came out last year, did it?
Came out this year.
Hmm?
Came out this year.
Well, alright, so it's just an honourable mention then, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just one of the
Yeah.
bigger figures that I got this year. But if you notice, it wasn't on the list because, I mean, I like it. I like the Prime, but I still not liked them enough as Bumblebee, really. Like,
I think Bumblebee was the best one. That's why I sold up. I sold my Bumblebee because I saw Optimus and thought, that's not as good. Like it's not as much of a departure as Bumblebee was.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up selling those as well. But I think it's just the little things like even Bumblebee had that extra head sculpt, which kind of I enjoyed more than his regular movie-verse looking face.
Oh, it was more G1, wasn't it?
But I mean, the face of the head sculpt, like he had the horns and stuff, but I mean, he looks very.
He's not wearing a dummy.
No, well, I mean, I guess that's something.
But yeah, go on, yeah.
Also the what company makes it? Come back to me. I'll tell you.
All right. Well, I'll go over mine then, and you can come back. But essentially, all the Starcom I bought, love it. I've rediscovered Starcom, and I am loving it. I've got the Star Max, I've got the Half 7, I've got the Battle Crane, I've got the Laser Rat, I've got the Shadow Bat, I've got 2 Shadow Parasites, and I am just wanting to get myself a Shadow Raider and a Shadow Invader, and I think that will be me for a while, because those are the ones that were the core of what I had as a kid, or what I remember as a kid. That was the core of the ones that I remember. I do like other figures from the line, but they don't hold as much nostalgic value to me. So get those. I can go, well, I've got a lovely little Starcom collection, perfect, and I might get a few extra figures as well, just to like man different, because there's an extra cockpit. There's extra cockpits. It's nice to have an extra guy in, but. Loving it. I've really loved going back to Starcom. It's such a great line. Such wonderful toys from my... obviously nostalgia is a big deal in there, but they're just great.
I feel like
You've seen them now in real life.
I've seen them now in real life, see what they do. I feel like those type of figures are more fun to pick up and mess with. And probably more so than like displaying it like some of the other stuff that you have. Like it's just like, I think like it's to pick up and enjoy it, and sometimes I feel like that's what
there were toys for that.
Exactly.
They were kids' toys.
There's stuff that I think some stuff is missing. I mean, it's just
absolutely. Did you say it was anything else you were going to mention, or you?
Oh yes, something that will appear on my list, but I've been buying a lot of them, and the ones from previous years is the Digimon Figurize line, or amplified or standard line. I've been buying both, which are little model kits of Bandai where you snap together, you don't have to glue it or anything. I did a few years ago, but I've been actually building a lot this year, and it's been quite fun. It's been nice just to sit back and build something, and pretty impressed with how the model kits come together.
Yeah, I've seen you doing those. Seen those model kits you've been doing. I love a model kit. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's great, and then they're finally doing some Digimon characters that haven't had figures from all these other companies, because Digimon is kind of like one of those franchises where they do the same 6 guys from the original series. They don't really spread out into all the other ones.
Well, did it last that long? Did it have a lot of legs? Like
what, Digimon? It's still going on.
But does anyone care about it?
Somewhere someone does, I'm sure.
It seems like, for me, it was like, oh, here's a Pokemon clone. It's gone.
Yeah, it was around for a while. And I've always been I do love Pokemon, but for different reasons than I really like Digimon. Like, I feel Digimon had a better story and had more exciting designs and evolutions. Pokemon is just cute, and yeah, I can't deny the cuteness of Pokemon.
And it's an amazing game.
Oh, the game's phenomenal. Like, Digimon have terrible games.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I think what keeps Pokemon going is that amazing game.
Pokemon have really good games, but their games are... It's quite a time-consuming game, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, because it's got so much legs to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's why that franchise is never going to die, because the game itself is so addictive.
Whereas I wouldn't say that the show of Pokemon has the same time.
Yeah, it's just a cartoon. Yeah. It's no better or worse than any other, really. Just one of those cartoons. The other thing I was going to say that I got this year, I've got a few things that didn't qualify, but the other thing was getting all of the higher toys stuff that that don't qualify. One of my particular favourites is Judge Clegg. Well, not Judge Clegg, sorry. Mm-hmm. The Clegg is an amazing figure. It's really nice.
I was surprised this was on your list. It came out last year.
Yeah, it came out last year. Really, really fantastic figure. Quite expensive though. It was closer to 40 quid as opposed to 20 like the rest are. But he is brilliant. He's bigger. He's a giant crocodile alien who eats people.
And this is there's There's more than one, right?
Yeah, there's loads of them. Yeah. Judge Cal, this guy, he recruits them as enforcers. Yeah, they're bastards, but it's a beautiful figure, really, really nice. So that's great. And the other thing I was going to mention was that I finally finished my Justice League International collection. I now have all the figures. I got Fire and Ice this year. This guy was selling all of them. And I got Fire and Ice, and I got an extra Booster Gold because my Booster Gold has fallen off the shelf many, many times and is held together by super glue in several places. So it's nice to have a spare for when that one finally gives up. I've got that spare, and it's mint in package. So and I've kept Fire and Ice in their packaging because the packaging's great, and it's wonderful to like complete that Justice League International toy line. There were only 6 figures in the entire line. I think it's 6. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Maybe it's 8. I think it's 8. And I've got Guy Gardner up there as well. He's not from the same line. They didn't do him, annoyingly, in the DC Direct Justice League International line. Totally idiotic of them to miss him out. But he works with them. He's from the Mattel line, the DC Universe line, or whatever it's called. So yeah, that's done. And that's me. That's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's a few other things. Oh, Legacy Jaxus. Oh, yes. I did pick him up. He's fantastic. He's really, really good. But obviously he came out, I think, the year before. Something like that.
Something else. What was it? Oh yeah, the Marvel Select Fantastic Four figures.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the Mr. Fantastic this year and Sue Storm, which led me to track down Johnny, who came out last year or the year before, and they're nice little figures. I mean, nowhere near Galactosh's level of knowledge of Fantastic Four or love. Couldn't dream to be as involved, but I do quite enjoy the Fantastic Four characters, and I think they're good representations.
Cool. Oh well, if that's all your kind of best stuff overall. Are you looking forward to anything? Any figures? Any toys from next year?
Well, there's a man, a big man.
Oh, giant man. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
I guess I should be looking forward to that coming out next year.
If it does.
If it does. Not really. There's nothing on the list that I'm, drooling for. I mean, there's some Mayfet figures that I've ordered. There's Spider-Man 2099, who may or may not arrive this side of the year.
Yeah.
There are figures that I definitely want to finish some stuff. Like there's some more Dragon Ball Z characters I would like. I'm really actually interested in seeing what the rest of the roster Jada does for their Street Fighter stuff and getting that in hand.
Mm-hmm.
There is some other lines like the Digimon and stuff where they are doing stuff from model kits of Yu-Gi-Oh characters. Even Reveltech are now starting to do some Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists and their monsters, which is my childhood in a nutshell. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh, so
there you go.
All up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more niche little things. There's nothing dramatic that I'm coming next to.
Are you once again planning to buy less?
I may not be I think what I'm starting to get into more of a habit of and feeling more comfortable with is selling more. And I've definitely been doing that a lot more.
Yeah, and I mean, you were talking about clearing space, but this we teased this at the beginning of the episode. What are you clearing space for?
More stuff. Don't get me wrong.
What specifically are you clearing space for?
I'm not getting rid of things to have.
What
less
massive
things.
thing have you backed?
Oh right, that's what you're talking about. I did buy pledge to Super 7's Thundercats campaign for their Cat Slayer.
Yeah. And then freely admit that you've got no space for it.
I mean, I would advise listeners to pause the episode, Google what I just said, and come back and try and understand my reasoning here.
It's insane. You have very limited space. You have less space than I do, in a way.
Yes, I do.
And I could not fit that anywhere. Like there's no unless I stuck it on this table, which would not go down very well with my significant other. I haven't got the space for that. And you haven't got the space for it.
No, I don't.
But you've gone and pledged on it. It's crazy.
I
And no one in the pub could quite get their head around it, especially even your significant other, when she realised how big it actually is, was like, whoa, but where are you going to put it?
I don't know where I'm going to put it. For all intents and purposes, it's going to live in storage until I have somewhere to put it.
Jesus.
But I kind of weighed up the options of it. Like, this is something I really want. Even though I don't have somewhere to put it now, I don't want to pay what it will be to get it later.
But you're paying £600 for it anyway.
Yes.
Jeez. It's just a dollhouse for your Thundercats.
But I really want this dollhouse. It's a cat with glowing eyes. I've gone full into the Thundercats line.
Okay.
So even something like the Thunder Tank,
Mm-hmm.
I can justify that because of the logistics of how to physically make that look good being displayed. But the Cat Slayer, I could envision it's in a room of a house I don't own, but it's feasible. I could see it.
Okay. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is insane.
It might be my craziest purchase of the year, I believe.
By a fucking long chalk. The price, what it actually is, which is just like a big diorama for your Thundercat characters to sit on. I mean, yeah, that'd be fine if it cost you 50 quid, but 600. I mean, you're insane. But you know, far be it for me to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Well, for me, the toys I'm looking for next year, looking forward to, I mean, not many, really. I've got Missing Link Convoy on order.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that looks great. I love the fact that it's the original toy, updated with better articulation and a really good deco on it and so on. I think it's going to look fantastic. And it's a wonderful little one-off. I don't expect them to make more. I know people are saying, oh, they might make Soundwave, or they might... It's like, well, they might, but they might not. I don't care. I'm quite happy for them just to do Optimus Prime and it just be that one-off thing. It just looks great. I really like the idea of it, so I've got that pre-ordered.
The Prime that I'm looking forward to, well, I thought it was coming out this month. Next year is the Yolo Park Transformers type model kits.
Oh, yeah.
Plugged together and have die-cast parts, and
Those are a bit weird looking.
I'm interested.
Megatron look weird.
Megatron does look a bit weird, yeah. I'll give you that.
No, weird face, weird long face, and
But I'm interested in the Prime, especially the Starscream too.
yeah, I could be less interested in that if I tried. It's fine. It's just not for me. The other thing, obviously, Masterpiece Rhinox. Finally, we're getting some more masterpieces in the Beast Wars line. Once they've completed it, all I want really, I'm not even bothered about the Predacons really. If I can get Rhinox and Rat Trap, maybe Air Razor.
Silverbolt?
Fuck him. He's season 2. Fuck him. I'll be done. I'd be happy with that. I'm happy just to get the season 1 guys. And again, if they don't do the Predacons, they don't do the Predacons. Fine. That's fine with me. I mean, Black Arachne is a piece of shit anyway.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan.
It's a terrible toy. Terrible toy. Really awful.
It's really odd that they did like this. We should talk about that as well. That's kind of the Takara repaints thing has come back again, and it's
they've been doing the repaints of the Kingdom stuff.
And some even have like completely not just better paint schemes, like a completely different type of paint schemes that make it look better than what that mold should look like, really. But it's weird that they did those at quite high prices before this announcement of Rhinox. Like, were they testing the waters to see if people really want Beast Wars things?
I just think there's been such a long run up. It feels like during we spoke about it a little bit earlier, but it feels like during COVID, it's almost like the Masterpiece line got mothballed. They just went, right, forget about that. we can't afford to do that at the moment. Let's just do some cheap shit, or cheaper shit. And they did that, and I think it's just taken them that long to get the Masterpiece machine back up and running. You know, dust it off, pull the sheets off, turn it back on again, and start. You know, and also they did those trains, and I think the train line was a kind of like break from the rest in a way, because you didn't get much else. I mean, we got Trailbreaker, I think, and a few other things, but not much in between. But yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's good to see them finally do another one, even though I could probably live without it. I have pre-ordered it. I want it. I want a Rhinox. It looks great.
It does look great.
So I'm going to get it. And yeah, like I say, they don't have to do the Predacons, but just give us a Rat Trap and maybe an Air Razor. I could be happy with just a Rat Trap. Like just the original crew of the Axelon would be fine with me.
I kind of feel like maybe Air Razor might happen because he has the spark thing from her episode. Like, they've been seeing kind of their episode specific stuff.
I guess, but I mean, that never ever try and predict what Takara are going to do, because they will always surprise you. I gave up predicting what they're going to do ages ago. But that's it for me. My optics! Right, so any New Year's resolutions?
Start a YouTube channel?
Yes, yeah, go for it, yeah.
Yeah, watch this space, listeners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. My new podcast, We've Got Back Issues, will be launching probably January sometime. First episode will be about the first 10 issues of Fantastic Four. Me and Galactosh do a deep dive on those first 10 issues. So yeah, that's cool. Otherwise, we'll do a few more of these, definitely, from time to time. Maybe a little bit less. We managed about 9 this year. I think we did about 10 the year before, or maybe 11. So, you know, I think we were doing roughly once a month, so probably 12. But yeah, we've been a bit less this year. But we'll definitely do some more. I definitely want to cover a few topics. Wouldn't mind doing Beast Machines at some point. That'd be fun.
Comic. Beast Wars comic, please.
Oh, really? I thought we were done with that.
You mentioned it in the Beast Machines episode.
Otherwise, I think my other New Year's resolution is just to let all this stuff, particularly toys, occupy less physical and mental space for me, and concentrate on some other things, other interests. Because yeah, toys are fine, but it's just stuff, and you know, maybe accumulating more and more stuff is not healthy. Right, so that's pretty much the end of the podcast. But we do have a final present.
Woohoo!
So let's do that. Would you like your final present?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a little scared.
It's not. It's hilarious. There you go.
I think I can already tell what it is.
Yeah. I got Dave exactly what he got me, which is
a Super 7 reaction figure Unicron.
Yeah.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. And guess what? That's me moving this footstool around, guys. I got one for myself as well.
You heard it here first. We're going to be doing our first ever Arc My Optics giveaway.
That's not a terrible idea. Yes, so now I've got 2. But in a way, it's not a bad thing because I like it on the card. So having one to open would be nice. So I can open one and put it on my desk at work or something, and then have the other one on the card.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's it. What an anticlimax. Oh, I've got a final present, haven't I?
Yes, sorry. Yes, you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I don't deserve it considering what you got me for the last one.
Now this present, I hope that you like.
Well, I mean, I to be honest, I hope I hate it because at least that'll make me feel better after the Judge Dredd, which I thought was completely out of order. You should definitely not have got something quite that good for me, to be honest. Oh, Oh my, what are you doing? Yes, I do like it. He's gone overboard. He's bought me the Fans Hobby Nightwalker, which is Nightbeat, which I have had a go with. I think Michael's got one, or I think maybe it was Minerva that he got. But yeah, it's a lovely. You've gone overboard, mate. I'm not really. I feel awful about my presence now. Thank you. That's fantastic. You put me to shame. But thank you very much. So that's lovely. I shall definitely get that out and have a play with it at a later point. Lovely. All right. Well, anything else you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
No, I think toy-wise, collecting-wise, even podcast-wise, I think we've had a good year. We had a nice bit of fun.
Yes, we've done some good ones this year. Yeah.
I think we've had some fun episodes. We've had some good guests. And some people have really given us some nice comments and nice feedback about episodes along the way. Found some people have found our podcast, or I've met people who have listened to our podcast from like TFN, and people have, chipped in and said what episodes they like and what things, even though if they're not into the thing, they still listened, and it's like, much appreciated, listeners.
Yeah. No, it's we've done a few good. I mean, I was very pleased with the Simon Furman interview really early on. That was great. Loved talking to him about his time at Marvel UK and hearing about their relationship with 2000 AD Office and all that kind of stuff. That was great. Really enjoyed having him on. Thank you, Simon. Starcom, that was a refreshing change. Yeah, no, it's been a good year. I mean, it's a year where I felt a little bit burnt out by toys and Transformers and even the podcast to a certain extent. So it's my fault, guys, that there's not been quite so many. But then to be honest, I am the driving force. Dave isn't the sort that will go, hey, let's do a podcast. It's me who does that. So if I don't say it, nothing happens.
Yes.
So essentially, yeah. But it's been great. It's been a good year, and thank you for doing it with me. It's always, you're long suffering, always putting up with my my critical negative behaviour. So well done.
I know what I signed up for.
All right, and I suppose we'll do an outro.
My optics!
And there you have it. Another year in the bag. Have you made a list of your favourite toys from this year? What are they? What do you think of our choices? Do let us know on social media. I'm on Twitter. No, I will not be calling it X. And Instagram and Threads as at Ghia Orion and Orion_Ghia, respectively. Dave, drop your socials here.
You can always find me on Instagram, VirtualDave26, or on Twitter at the same handle.
Mm-hmm.
And soon to be YouTube as well, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. You said search for your Virtual Dave, you'll find Virtual Dave 26 or whatever it is.
VirtualDave26 on YouTube, that's where it all started. And even on TikTok now, I've been posting some stuff on there. Trying to get some more things going.
Yeah, I started a Threads account. I've posted a bit. Just because fuck Elon Musk. So, thank you, Dave, both for sticking with it with this little adventure. I know it's not been easy. And thank you, listeners, for doing the same. As always, we are humbled by all of your support. It's been amazing. It's been great to get some feedback. Please keep it coming. And that's it. Thanks for listening. And please join us next year on AARGH Optics!